You see, normally when we go to a monastery, normally you hear the monk to ask you, meditate, meditate, develop your mind, meditate, train your mind to be calm. Then you will sort of, why? Not interesting at all, no. So calm. I got one friend during the army time. He said, I don't want to go heaven, so calm. He said, heaven. Go down to hell better. Hell got discotheque, got karaoke, got bar, got gambling den, got all this good food. Go down to heaven so quiet, you see. No exciting. No. So that time I believe him, Because we're in the army, we don't know. So I believe my friend, it's true, go down to hell better. Oh, it's not the kind of hell. The hell they are referring is the hell of our mental state, our mind state. The hell, we are in hell if we never develop our mind. Then our life will be forever engineered by what? Controlled by our greed, our hatred, our delusion, by our own temper, our anger, our jealousy. If we don't develop our mind, don't bring our mind to the calmness, then this defilement of ours will always spring up into action, and we always fall under the victim of this defilement, this kind of wrongdoing, which we later regretted every time we do something. I shouldn't have do it, I shouldn't have said it, I shouldn't have blah 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 blah, all this type of thing coming out. You see, we regret every time we do something wrong. That's why when we say, develop your mind, putto, practice meditation, calm your mind. Calm your mind from what? Calm your mind. Calm your mind away from greed, hatred, delusion. Calm your mind from anger, from jealousy, from unwholesome thought that arise in your mind, so that your mind won't be a slave, won't be affected by what arises within our own mind. Then we say that we are the one who practice meditation. We are the one who practice mental development. For whose sake? For our own sake. It's for not anybody's sake. It's for your own sake. Then we have this compassion ourselves. Sometimes we think of other people wrongdoing. Personally, we feel very compassionate for the other party because they don't see the problem they have. We wish that they could have seen the backfall, the shortcoming, but they can't see. They can't see because why? Because they've been blinded by greed. Greed for what? Greed of status. Greed for name. Greed for gain. Greed for people cheer you, talk good about you. Wow. So people are going for this sort of thing in this worldly aspect. So we when we look at this thing, these are the what we call it, unknown people, untrained. Regardless whether you are lay people or a monk, or even worse, can be Zhao Gun or can be so high position. This defilement got no status, It penetrates to all level of human mankind, all human mind, at all level. You see the defilement will surface itself so clearly. If your mind is calm enough, you can see, then you start to feel, you don't feel sad, you feel compassionate. Why these people commit this type of thing for what? But we can only feel sad, feel that why they don't see the problem, why don't they see the shortcoming? They say, leave it. So it's so hard, That's why we got to practice meditation, got to practice the calmness of the mind. Because it is through the calming down of your mind, then we are able to reduce our bad karma, reduce ourselves from doing more unwholesome karma, unwholesome action for ourselves in terms of our speech, our thought, our action. You cannot deny, because we are in this supposition world. Our eye when we see things, our ear when we hear sound, our nose when we smell, come in contact with smell, our tongue when we taste the taste bud, and the feeling our body get in contact with. And this mental formation that will make story is liking and disliking, and with the memory or attachment plus in, how your mind not being able to, cannot be so, get involved, because it has been so habitual all the time, since time immemorial, and all of a sudden we want to come and train the mind. So you find there's a tug of war. You find there is a difficulty here that, it's not so easy to calm the mind. But it doesn't mean that it cannot be done. It can be done. We just do every day. Every day we do chanting, prostration to the Buddha, whatever kind of chanting, you can chant your Om Tofo, Namo Kwansin Pusa, Om Memi Pemi Om, Putto Putto, Anapanasati, rising for whatever meditation teams or whatever Faman you have practiced before and you can ever calm your mind. Go to that. Pick up that one. That one suits you. And you can see the difference when your mind calm down already. Then you can differentiate, oh, it's true. Why? When your mind is protected by Putto, mindfulness, Putto, then you can see very clearly. Why? When this thought, unwholesome thought arising, for example, anger, you can see anger arising when someone says something you don't like, or you see something you doesn't like, or you say something, see, all this contact, sensory contact you doesn't like, or you like, you can see. Then you put then you see your mind have a what we call it anchor point to anchor with. So you won't be dragging by this story making of the mind. Your mind doesn't make story anymore. It doesn't produce this kind of unwholesome mind state. Though aggravate the condition. Already our mind is so chaotic, so painful. So sometimes when we look at other people, their mind state, we should have that kind of compassion that, these are the people who don't practice. So whatever mistake other people do, don't take grudges. We don't, hold grudges, just forgive them. These are the people. Even though they are monks, even though they are very high position, we just, leave them alone. Because they don't practice. It's so painful. And they don't know they have be a slave to their mind state at that moment. We always have the kind of compassion to give people the leeway to correct themselves, to let the leeway for people to reflect on, because all human beings have the potential to be good. That's why the Buddha teaching is alive until today, because it has been tested for generation and generation of practitioners. Do good, do bad, do bad, do good, do good, do bad. This type of practitioner, like we all, same. No one don't cause no mistake. Everybody commit mistake. But because we were given the chance, we were not penalized. Even though we have Vinaya rules, even though we have precept, but the Buddha never punish us, because this is something that it can be corrected by one acknowledgement of one's own fault. Then you say, okay, we correct it. So we must always have this kind of mindset in ourselves. So then we can really practice what we call compassionate for other people. Even though people have done wrong to us, we just, never mind. It's their karma, not our karma. Because that karma, that kind of mind state, even though that person doesn't correct himself, who suffer? He suffered, we don't suffer. Leave them alone. And that's why I always say, leave them alone, leave them alone. They will die one day. I will also die one day. But we die with less commitment of unwholesome karma. We don't commit more karma, bad karma, that aggravate the condition. We reduce our own karma. That means our mind, even though being bullied, we know we've been bullied, but we don't hold grudges. So nothing can bully us. We don't hold grudges. We feel bullied if we hold grudges. We don't feel anything, we just indifferent. It's just like wind blowing, our seating, all this kind of sound. But we're inside here so safe. Because why? The seating never say anything, only sound only. We sit here so safe, no problem. So we mustn't be so worried about external things. Because why? We know that there's a lot of nail up there to secure the zinc sheet up there. So the wobbling of the wind, contraction of the wind, is just a sound. Same, likewise with other people outside there. People who make nasty remark about us, same thing. But we don't care, we just look at them like we are sitting here. Nothing, just wind, no problem. Same thing. We put the comparison to external things of how people react to us. Same thing. So we have no problem. If we are able to train our mind to be able to adapt to this state of mind state, then we say that, okay, your meditation is up to date. Up to date is what? Up to date, that means you are not shaken by external provocations. We can still stay very calm, indifferent. Then you can find the real happiness within yourself, because there's a balance all the time. You don't fall to the left, you don't fall to the right. Whatever happens, we stay middle. We don't side, because why? We are looking after our own mind state. Why should we fall under the influence of them? Because of this kind of right view, this kind of view we have, we can find the real happiness within ourselves without causing pain to other people. And that will be the sharing for today. Just now, when they talk about the earthquake, I said, good. So some people might be thinking, what? Earthquake good? How come this month so cruel? This month so bad? Huh? Wish for earthquake. It's not that I wish for earthquake. Earthquake is part of nature. Since time immemorial, there's earthquake. The problem is, are we prepared to face this kind of odd, this kind of happening, this kind of uncertainty in our life? We know earthquake is destructive, but can we prevent it? Nobody knows we're going to have earthquake today. You see, all this alarming system, what happened to them? All fails. They're supposed to detect earthquake. There'll be coming earthquake, blah, blah, blah. Like in New Zealand, you have this detect expertise people who will tell you, oh, the earthquake coming when, Japan, people is mentally prepared for the earthquake. But have you heard of that? No. 1.5 years I come here, I never heard of any preparation for earthquake that today will be an earthquake. You see, so when uncertainty strike, everybody start to get panic. Then you start to blame this, blame the God is angry, blah, blah, blah. Even God don't know anything, also gets scolding now, You see, that's the problem with human being. Why are we blaming other people all the time? Why not we get ourselves prepared? Like the Buddha said, get yourself prepared. Understand the truth of the nature. That you are born. This whole world is anicca, is impermanent. Rupang anicca. This body impermanent. Vedana anicca, feeling is impermanent. Sanya anicca, memory is impermanent. Sankhara anicca, mental formation is impermanent. Vinyana anicca is impermanent. We have been chanting, morning chanting every now and then to reflect on this impermanence of this body and this nature. But very few we talk about the nature. We emphasize a lot on the body. So if you look at the body is part of nature. Then you can conclude that earthquake, not only earthquake, maybe typhoon, cyclone, all kind of natural disaster coming ahead of us. We don't know. After the earthquake, maybe will come another, what kind of quake or what kind of storm is coming in. Who knows? Are we prepared? We should ask ourselves, are we prepared? That should be the question we put in, and not to say that, how come we are not informed? How come? No, informed so what? Can you prevent? We can't. But if we prepare mentally, then we will be in a state of shock. Why? We are prepared all the time. Whatever happens, let it be. Just accept it. This is the way. This is the way of nature. What can we do? If anything destroy, repair, we repair. Make good, we make good. Cannot, we shift to some other place and move on. And that's it. That's it. Suppose the whole Melbourne sink. Are we going to cry? Can we help it? We can't help it. You think we want it? Nobody want it. But nature does happen. Like now it's happening in the Pacific Islands, the small Solomon Islands. They're sinking. Bangladesh, whole village sink. And people are blaming the government for not taking measure. You think the government like this type of thing to happen to the society? No one will like it, but nature is like that. If the government can help, of course they will help because they can't help you. The same thing is better that we help ourselves. Help ourselves by what? Get our mentally prepared, mental state, our mind prepared. Understand that, well, we've got to help ourselves. Last time, before we have government, if we talk about last time, when human beings got to exist by themselves, who help you? You're like hunter, naked, got to look for your own food. Where got government? But because of a group of people, more problem, you need assistance to govern people. So the law protect the good people. But this country, the law sometimes doesn't protect good people. There's a big good people being bullied. This is what I looked at the whole system. It's funny. But people abuse. That's why this mind of ours, if it's not trained, we are always this type of problem. My friends send me a lot of clips. I just don't understand why these people keep sending me this stupid clip for what? About this, about that. I say, why are you born? I just tell them, why are you born? Don't come back lah. Don't born, you don't have this problem. Then they shut up. They don't send me anymore. It's bullshit. Every day send me stupid kind of clip to me. They thought I like this kind of gossip. I got no time for this nonsense of thing. We have better thing to do for ourselves. Our mind is full of defilement. How to train ourselves? This is more important rather than we looking at this clip, that clip. They send you a stupid clip. And look at them. Crazy. These people nothing better to do. But this is the problem. This is the problem. And we see monk at this moment. Monk want to disturb also. And then they call me to disturb. So I say, you going to disturb? Why? I say, he's sick of monk life. I say, you play too much handphone, huh? Then he said, he said, bloody shit. You switch off your handphone. Go and meditate. Then your mind calm down. Then you can think properly. That is the problem with this modern gadget for people who don't know how to make use of it. It will destroy you. That's why when this modern gadget come into our society, I tell them, it's not a good sign. They say, oh, good, Ajahn, very good. I say, look at it. How many people know how to use it? People will only how to indulge in the pleasure, indulge in the fun of it. And they will be spiritually finished. They don't want to meditate anymore. They spend more time on the phone than on the meditation. They spend more time on the phone than on their chanting, on their walking meditation, sitting meditation, and so forth. They spend more time on this stupid gadget. And they say that, we are studying Dhamma. This is the problem. That's why you want to learn something good. There's an old saying, you take 3 years. You want to learn something back, it takes you nearly 3 days. And nowadays, people got a lot of knowledge because they have this phone. They know so much things, but they can't deliver. They don't know at all. You can argue until the sky fall down, but in reality, you cannot deliver what you argue. This is very, very detrimental. And why I want to bring up this subject? Because I see this good monk that I know. I use the word good monk. Very good monk. Once upon a time, engrossed diligently in the chanting, walking meditation, sitting meditation. Very helpful until he got his handphone. I observed him. Within 1 year, character change. Character change from not break the precept, become negligent. Never do the duty a person should do anymore. Just totally forgotten. And that is the downfall of the individual. That's why sometimes we must know our why are we here? What are the priority we must put first? I use the word priority. Because if we don't know how to set our priority as what we're supposed to do, then we will be on the wrong track. And we take the wrong track to be the right track, and that's the worst. And people nowadays are getting more and more rough, more and more gross in character. They are not refined like last time. Last time people are very refined. They think ahead. Everything they do, they think, they consider pros and cons, they consider many in terms of Dhamma, how it affects. But nowadays people don't think. They base on the supposition of the world as a measuring tape, and that is very, very dangerous. That's why if you were to look at the Buddha's teaching, because we are Buddhists, we got to refer back what the Buddha tell us, why the Buddha say this, why the Buddha say that. In this present moment, is our defilement lesser than the Buddha's time? I say no, worse. If the Buddha time people maybe meditate 10 hours a day, today nowadays we need 20 hours. Because why? Thing is getting worse. Less and less competent teacher is around. They are dying off. And what we have is only books and no living example. It's very, very dangerous nowadays. And we can see the whole thing, this is part and parcel of the world. That's why the Buddha said, 5,000 years, the thing will finish. Which is true. Can we deny? I said, don't need 5,000. I ordained, when I first ordained that time, my batch of monks, every time we talk about meditation, go to this mountain, go to that jungle, go to this forest, where got better place, to train ourselves, where for too long. Blah, blah. We never hear this nowadays. Especially when the handphone come up, finish. Even though we 4-wheel drive out some monk, what are so come? I went to there and said, hey, come, let's go forest. Hey, Ajahn, you go alone. Finish. They say, even though you'd have to walk, but nowadays people are like that. Attachment to what? Sensual pleasure. The craving is so easily being answered. And of course, people rationalize, why should I? Why should I? They always say, why should I? I can practice everywhere, but everywhere is Dhamma, is correct, not wrong. So we just leave them alone. This is the problem of the present Buddhist situation, and you can see what are the subject people discuss now, and the subject that's been mentioned is totally different nowadays. It's no more of encouraging in how to push on the meditation aspect, how to develop your mind. It's very few nowadays. But again, today, this earthquake is a good wake-up call. Why? Is your mind prepared? If not prepared, better get yourself prepared, because which realm are you going? Are you prepared? And that we share for today. This is a time for reflections, to reflect on the uncertainty of things that happen, which we thought it is certain in our life, and turn out to be so uncertain and so unpredictable. This is something we got to be very, very be careful in our life. Human being that exist in this world, everybody is looking for happiness, but most of us are indulgent in sensual pleasure. That's for sure, and that's the norms for all human beings. No one like suffering. No one like what we call the negative side of their life. What they want is everything positive, positive, positive. But if you are what we call it skillful enough, wise enough, anything that's negative that happen in our life, or negative events, thing that is undesirable that's happening in our life, in our experience, we must know how to twist it around, turn around, to be our advantages, to take it as a reminder, as a teacher who is coming to remind us. Then the whole situation will change when we know how to switch around, think otherwise. Because we have been educated in the former kinds of knowledge, and we are so scared that this knowledge that we have learned, we got to follow. We're not there to think otherwise. And a lot of people are so stuck up with the knowledge, all the protocol. And what's going to happen to them is when things turns up, they are not innovative enough to change. They don't want to transform the suffering they're going through into their advantages. And they sink into their suffering because they have the kind of patterns of thinking that it should be this way, it cannot be other way. You should think otherwise. You should take those undesirable things, unhappiness, things not coming according to what you wishes, to reflect on it. Why and what can you learn from this experience, this happening? So this is very important, because no one is perfect in life. Everybody make mistake, and that's why when we make mistake, we learn from the mistake. Then we will be a better person. But if you were to hang on to the kind of certain concept, a kind of views, then we say that, oh, only my way is the best, no other way. And this is what we call titti, mana titti, attachment to views. And you cannot think outside the box. And not to talk about meditation, because why? You got to keep reminding yourself, oh, I'm the best, no one can be better than me, blah, 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 this and that. And this is what? This is mana, attachment to view. This is mana, attachment to claiming, to certain kind of recognition. You want people to recognize you. And this is a form of weaknesses. So we got to go deeper, deeper, deeper in meditation. At the end of the day, we will slowly realize that, oh, it's this stupid mind of ours who go and label all these things. External thing, nothing say anything. Our mind keep changing, keep attached, keep making story to hold on to certain topics so they can be so important to us. This is what attachment comes in. But you have to look at it and say that, well, you just pick, what are you here for? What you want to do in life? What are the achievements you want in the practice? And how can you move about it? This is very important. How can you gain? How can you get the real happiness in yourself? What is the real happiness? Where does it lie? If not, then you're always being drained, being drowned in the flood of thinking. And this flood of thinking is both productive and detrimental, but they're still thinking. Right? It's a worldly thing. It's nothing. It's worldly thing, but you can train this thing to be a tool to advantageous, like what has been explained just now. You can turn around everything, turn around. Because happiness, you don't know why you get why happy, what makes you so happy. You got to go into that, and what makes you so unhappy. We got to look into that. Who say happy? Who say not happy? Who is attached to this happiness? Who is attached to this unhappiness? Where does it come from? We got to prop in your body, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the tongue, the feeling. Where? Keep digging in. When you start to dig inside you, not outside, not fault finding, not try to prove right and wrong, win and lose. No, dig inside us. Then you come to conclusions of the reason within yourself. You don't have to ask anyone. Deep in your heart, you know what is right, what is wrong, what is skillful, what is unskillful, what is moral, what is immoral. We know deep inside us. We don't have to ask anyone. We know deep inside our own mind. So that'll be the sharing for today. Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sakarang eva beva nito tina petana upakapatit ichita badita dumha kipameva samichatu sape purentu sankapa Chandho panaraso yatha manicho diraso yatha Tiya vivajandu samaro govina sadumade bhava vandarayo sukhi digayo go bhava viva Tanasile sanicang buddha Vajayino cakaro dhamma Tanti ayuhano sukhang Alaya samipade kapete vasa parita jatiyo Sila vadeta mochetawa sanyate brahmacharino Yadata devata sunta sadakinamadese Tapucita pujayanti marita manayatina Tatonang anukampanti mata putawa orasang Dewata nukampito koso satabarani pasati Bhavatu sa pamanggalang rakadu sa badewata Sabba buddha nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakadu sabba devata Sabba dhamma nubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakadu sabba devata Sabba sangha nubhavena sada soti Bhavantu te